Hello and welcome. Thanks very much for joining us here on NDTV. I'm Padmaja Joshi, and as always, when it really matters, on a story, the buck stops here. And a host of stories that we're going to discuss today really, do bash through a host of stories and a lot of news that has happened and try and make sense of it. Joining us today, we have Shehzad Poonawala, political analyst, Sameer Chaugankar, senior journalist, Anish Gawande, political analyst and spokesperson for NCP Sharad Pawar, and Pankaj Sharma, senior journalist, all here with us.
Naturally, Shehzad Poonawala, political analyst.
Yes, it is coming very naturally. You've always been an analyst, Shehzad. I should ask you, are you missing your political innings?
Obviously, one misses the party they love, but sometimes the new job is also very interesting, and I've done this before I came into the party.
See, the good thing is that you don't have to have any filters anymore, so you can be...
Rahul Gandhi's
and he has filters before?
Apparently, that was the filtered Shehzad Poonawala you got.
No, let me tell you, and Sameer ji will know because he's covered, and even Pankaj ji has covered as a journalist, BJP puts premium on people, advocating a line in a very decorum manner. Or some examples are there which are not good, but by and large the BJP says that you have to speak very respectfully and you have to speak in a particular decorum. But now that I'm an analyst, I can speak my mind.
Right. So, let's get that speaking of your mind started, because I think decorum is pretty much now has been thrown to the wind going by what we see in the recent past. The big story, of course, everyone is talking about. Rahul Gandhi got the FIR lodged for Sahil Lochab, the pellet gun victim from the 20th of July. Big victory for Rahul Gandhi?
Well, see, I think if Rahul Gandhi, for distracting from the other issue in which there was a Chakravyuh in which he was caught up, which is the Vande Mataram issue. And I think the BJP had doubled down on that, and they had really no answers to give. And therefore, they planned that how is it that in this Pratispardha, this competition of attention, how do we lead from the Dipke CJP gang, which is doing something, trying to orchestrate something in Rajasthan. Then there is Kejriwal and company. Then there is Akhilesh Yadav and company. So in this Pratispardha of competition, Rahul Gandhi tried to pull out what I think was a तुरुम का एक्का कि मैं अब जाकर धरना ही दे देता हूँ यहाँ पर.
Look, but be that as it may,
मेरा आ जाएगा.
Be that as it may.
No, 1 second. Let me just complete. If Rahul Gandhi was genuinely doing this for students, then I have two questions. One, Supreme Court पे भरोसा नहीं है क्या राहुल जी? 5-member committee, fact finding, violence, किसने किया, कैसे हुआ, कितना excessive, वो सब it was under Supreme Court. चलो बीजेपी पे भरोसा नहीं, अमित शाह जी पे भरोसा नहीं, ठीक है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट पे. दूसरी बात, झारखंड में 16 दिन फास्ट, तिरंगा यात्रा के दिन दैट दीप महतो ही वाज पुल्ड अप. राहुल जी साइलेंट. 600 FIRs on students there. Rahul ji silent. तो राहुल जी selective silence and selective आक्रोश I can't decode. And last just because we spoke about decorum. अभी हमारे एक मित्र ही है, आपके ही चैनल में काम करते, बहुत अच्छे मित्र है. अब तो मैं एनालिस्ट हूं तो ही कैन सेंड मी स्टफ. ही सेंड मी दिस पिक्चर. एंटाइटलमेंट का किंग कौन? राहुल. ये 4 कुर्सी है, राहुल इज सिटिंग, जैसे हम 4 है ना, तो ऐसे समीर जी 4 कुर्सी है, वो अकेले बैठे, पीछे 75 वर्ष के सलमान खुर्शीद ऐसे लीन करके नहीं खड़ा हुआ जा रहा. कुमारी शैलजा, दलित की बेटी, और जयराम रमेश तो फिर भी ठीक है, वो तो स्टैंडिंग ऑन द फीट, वो तो उनको पहले से आदत है, दरबारी है. और अधीर रंजन चौधरी, तीनों खड़े हैं चेयर के पास बैठने. मतलब मैं आऊं और पंकज जी मुझे बोले चेयर के ऊपर नहीं बैठना, ऐसा तो नहीं बोलेंगे. पंकज जी तो एक सभ्य व्यक्ति है. ये देखिए ना आप, ये नवाब जादे जो
पंकज जी बता ही दीजिए.
नवाब जादे
बता ही दीजिए.
See, all this sophistry has no meaning. I mean, you should basically discuss the issue. Why there is a situation when the leader of opposition has to go to the police station and plead there that please file an FIR, because police was not ready even to give investigation tracking number initially. So now you don't have any respect for the LOP. There was a time when there used to be some respect for the LOP, but now there is a situation in this regime. They want opposition free India. No opposition. So there is an attitude of contempt against the opposition, the entire opposition, and their leadership.
And
that is why.
My basic question is, if the FIR has been lodged now, after 7 hours, why wasn't it lodged earlier?
Yes.
Because Sahil Lochab is saying he went there twice and they refused to give him the IO's number, they refused to give him an acknowledgement. If they can do it today on the 21st of August, why can't they do it on the 14th of August?
Have you seen a copy of the FIR?
Yes, I have actually.
No, you have, right?
I have a copy
Who
of
has
the
been
FIR.
named in that?
They're against the unnamed people. अरे पर पहले कर देते ना आप against unnamed people.
No, one second, let me explain, because I also now can freely express my legal opinion, which I've studied top 10 ILS. So now the point is that when the Supreme Court decided that a fact-finding committee will establish whether A, pellet guns were used, because it's still in doubt. Delhi police has said categorically, we don't have pellet guns, we didn't use them. Secondly, if pellet guns are fired, 50 people will get the pellets, not one person getting 200. I don't know how that physics works, but in Rahul Gandhi's parallel universe, any physics can work. Thirdly, the procedure of this entire thing should have been that the fact-finding committee should have established that yes, pellets were fired on a person and fired by, after seeing the facial recognition and other things, by these bunch of people, or these people that could be the security force or somebody else. And then the FIR should have been filed. Now,
No,
Mr. Rahul
I don't
Gandhi,
think that's the process.
One second. I'll tell you, no, in this case, it would have been because of the Supreme Court's intervention.
No, hold on a
So-
second. If you're saying, just a second, if you're saying an FIR can be filed only after the high-powered committee has reached a...
In this case, not in any other case.
No, but even in
Because
this
this
case,
case, Supreme Court took
why
even
this
in this
case
case,
is
an
not
FIR has been filed now,
one
which
second.
means
I'm telling
obviously
you
it is
now.
possible.
I'm telling you what, it is possible, but it amounts to still the investigation now being done, that who has fired it and whether it has been fired. That's why unnamed people have been named.
My
Has
question
been,
is,
mentioned.
you could have filed it against unnamed people on the 14th of August itself.
Now, so then they should not have gone to Supreme Court. They should have kept it with the police. They should have kept it with the police. Why they went to Supreme Court?
Okay, Anish, quickly.
Legally, there
I
is a
thought
manual.
today Rahul Gandhi had the name. कि भाई FIR लिखो, अनीश गवांडे ने फायर किया है, पंकज ने फायर किया है, but तो किसी का
Arey,
नाम
but this
देखे
wasn't about Rahul Gandhi, na Shehzad. It was about Sahil Lochab going to him and saying, "Sir, मेरी कोई सुनवाई नहीं हो रही है, मेरी मदद कीजिए."
सुप्रीम कोर्ट
LOP
में सुनवाई
पहुंच
हुई
गए।
है।
नहीं।
सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जस्टिस सुभाष के ऊपर आपको भरोसा नहीं है?
The Supreme Court committee is meant to fact find on the use of excessive force. That does not prevent any individual against whom excessive force has been used to approach the police station. A first information report has to be filed. The first information report is very simple. Lalita Kumari versus Union of India 2014 judgment stipulates that it must be filed for any cognizable offence and the police must lodge that report.
Let me stop you there. You said on a cognizable offence.
Correct. This is a excessive use of force is cognizable offence.
One second. So now can you establish that this particular incident, you are absolutely sure that the security forces fired?
No, there is a
No, one
possibility.
second. This is very important. Let me. Are you convinced that the security forces have done this?
I am convinced that the security forces have done this because otherwise I am more worried
So you are
that a
blaming the
pellet
security
gun.
forces?
No, I am saying that the investigation should continue, but I am saying there can only be two
So
options.
are you saying the Supreme Court wasn't investigating this?
No,
matter?
the Supreme Court can investigate the matter, but there are two
Anish,
things.
you have now said two contradictory things.
No.
Take a stand. Say that the security forces, the CRPF, the RAF did it.
So the
अब बोल
FIR,
दो।
let me tell you what
There are
the
three
FIR
points.
says.
ये भी बोलने को तैयार
You
नहीं।
have
So
not-
let me
you
tell
have
you
not-
what the FIR says. The FIR says police resorted to lathi charge and pellets were fired during the protest. The complainant claims a pellet struck his right eye, causing serious injury. He was taken for medical exam, etc. That has been now mentioned in the FIR. The FIR is saying that
What
the
has it
police
been?
has...
No. It is
he
the
has
version of
specifically
the
said.
victim.
Correct.
Yeah, of course. The FIR
version
will
of
have,
the victim
will
has
have
been
my
mentioned.
report only.
But this
Exactly.
is again, one second. See, I am only speaking as a lawyer. I'm not speaking. You are thinking I'm speaking as BJP.
Sure.
आप
No,
वो
no.
बीजेपी का फिल्टर हटा दो,
हटा
उनसे
दीजिए।
हटा दो।
हटा
ना
दो।
आप एनसीपी हो ना मैं बीजेपी हूँ। अब आप भी प्रवक्ता से हट गए, मैं भी हट गया।
नहीं,
आपको
मैं
हटाया
नहीं
गया, मैं हट गया। सुन लीजिए,
मैं-
मैंने
मैं-
उसको
मैंने
है, भाई,
हटाया
वो
था।
अभी-
मैंने देखा ना, वो तो पहला फोटो लिया और फिर हटा दिया। नहीं, सुन लो। Now I am only saying this, my dear friend Anish Gawande ji, that either you tell me for a fact that Sahil is right that the security forces are fired at me. Fired.
I am saying Sahil is somebody who is
So
an
subject to
Indian
investigation?
citizen. No, an Indian
no.
citizen has made a serious accusation. Three things must happen. Either the Home Minister must come and tell the country were pellet guns fired or not.
Home Minister
Two,
आ गए।
if pellet guns were not fired, then the police must clarify. And if
Police
pellet
has,
guns,
police has clarified we don't
then-
have pellet guns.
No, one second.
Delhi police first day.
Padmaja,
So
can we
this was
bring up?
never
No,
about the
Padmaja,
police.
no.
This was about
Padmaja, I have a very
RAF.
simple question.
Just
Padmaja,
to-
do you have reports, the medical reports that
I
all of
do.
us have seen
We do.
that this indicates a pellet gun injury?
And we have shown.
Correct?
Yes.
Now, there can only be two possibilities. That
Now,
either the
possibilities-
police forces use these pellet guns, in which case it's a act that deserves to be condemned, or that somebody random had pellet guns in the national capital.
Arey, he is
for which
only
also
drawing
there
you
must
in
be
because of one technicality. Say RAF,
I have
Rapid Action
Padma Ji,
Force,
don't do this.
which is a
Sorry
unit
to
of the
Sameer ji,
CRPF, where you are
Ji.
saying police, and he is hinging on that technicality.
On Padmaja's show, and Padmaja is allowing this is a big news for me, that she is saying FIR should be done on either this inference, not on fact. What has he said? कि या तो ये हो सकता है या तो
entirely separate to the FIR. अगर मैं कहता हूँ कि आपने मुझे मारा है तो वो FIR हो जाता है. Investigation can find कि either आपने मुझे मारा है या मैंने आपको मारा है. वो investigation की बात है.
The problem is the lack of ignorance, the ignorance of law.
Look, all of that
Not
is
at all.
water
What do you
under
think?
the bridge because now the FIR has been filed.
Now counter question is झारखंड का FIR का withdraw.
अरे छोड़ो ना वो डिबेट अभी, वो झारखंड आप जाओ.
झारखंड के स्टूडेंट को बोल दो इंडिया में नहीं है.
अरे अभी आप एनालिस्ट रहो ना, आप एंकर भी बन गए. बस समीर जी, अब now we've got Sahil Lochab who's come out and thanked Rahul Gandhi. My question is, politically, do you think this is a win for Rahul Gandhi?
मुझे लगता है कि राहुल गांधी की एक रूप से जिद मानी जाएगी इस बात को. देखिए, घटना कब घटी थी? 20 जुलाई को हुई थी. आज 21 अगस्त हो चुकी है. एक महीना इस पूरे घटना को हो चुका था और मुझे लगता है कि इसके दो पहलू है. क्या राहुल गांधी इसके पहले नहीं आ सकते थे? राहुल गांधी ने एक महीने का समय क्यों लिया? राहुल गांधी ने पहले प्रेस ब्रीफिंग ली इसको लड़के को लेकर. उस समय राहुल गांधी जा सकते थे FIR दर्ज कराने. तो राहुल गांधी ने एक मंथ FIR दर्ज कराने का समय क्यों लिया? कांग्रेस या राहुल गांधी ये कह सकते कि भाई जो स्टूडेंट है जिसके ऊपर लगा है पैलेट गन, उसने कोशिश की होगी और पुलिस ने FIR दर्ज नहीं की होगी. और मुझे लगता है कि जब राहुल गांधी वहां पहुंचे तो उसके पीछे दो कारण मुझे लगता है कि एक तो ये कि जो वंदे मातरम का जो पूरा इश्यू हो रहा है लंबे समय चल रहा है, कांग्रेस में बहुत कंफर्टेबल फील नहीं कर रही थी पूरे मामले को लेकर. कांग्रेस को जवाब नहीं दे बन रहा था. तो हो सकता है ये प्लानिंग हो कि भाई अब वंदे मातरम पर जवाब नहीं देना है तो बेहतर है कि राहुल गांधी इस इश्यू को लेकर जाएंगे तो ये मुद्दा अलग हो जाएगा और वंदे मातरम से बच के पूरा मामला पैलेट गन और होम मिनिस्ट्री के ऊपर पूरी तरीके से आ जाएगा. लेकिन जब राहुल गांधी अब जब वहां पहुंच गए, उसके बाद जिस तरीके से रविशंकर प्रसाद जी ने पत्रकार वार्ता ली, उसके बाद जगत प्रकाश नड्डा जी का बयान आया, तो मुझे लग रहा था कि शायद FIR नहीं होगी और राहुल गांधी के ऊपर या तो फोर्सफुली हटाया जाएगा या राहुल गांधी को कन्विंस किया जाएगा और राहुल गांधी वहां से चले जाएंगे. अब जब राहुल गांधी को यह तय कर लिया कि राहुल गांधी LOP वहां बैठे हुए और पुलिस ने तय किया कि FIR दर्ज करेंगे, तो पुलिस को मुझे लगता है कि पुलिस के ऑफिशियल स्पोक्स पर्सन को आकर बताना चाहिए था कि हम क्यों FIR दर्ज करने जा रहे हैं, क्या कारण है कि हम दर्ज कर रहे हैं. आपने राहुल गांधी को पूरा क्रेडिट देने की कोशिश क्यों की? पुलिस बता सकती थी ना कि अभी तक हमने FIR दर्ज क्यों नहीं की और आज अगर हम दर्ज कर रहे हैं तो किस कारण से कर रहे हैं. राहुल गांधी के कहने पर आप FIR दर्ज कर रहे हो और राहुल गांधी मीडिया में आकर पूरा बता रहे हैं कि मैं 6 घंटे बैठा रहा, उसके बाद FIR दर्ज हुई. पुलिस की तरफ से एक स्टेटमेंट नहीं आ रहा है, तो मैसेज ये जा रहा है कि राहुल गांधी के दबाव में आपने FIR दर्ज किए.
And also, look, I mean, the kind of visuals that are coming, let's just play out one of them where Rahul Gandhi was seen arguing inside a room where he said कि मैं यहाँ पे 1 घंटे नहीं, 2 घंटे नहीं, मैं 20 दिन, 60 दिन यहाँ पर बैठूंगा मैं. And look, अब तो कांग्रेस कहेगी ना जननायक के दबाव में हो गया ये.
मेरा एक लाइन
बोलने तो खत्म कर दीजिए.
मेरा एक लाइन ये कहना था कि अगर पुलिस खुद अपनी पीसी ले लेती, अगर आज दोपहर को ले लेती, 4 बजे ले लेती, 5 बजे, तो आपने तय कर लिया कि आप FIR दर्ज करेंगे, तो आप मीडिया में आके बता देते कि हम क्यों FIR दर्ज कर रहे हैं, कि धाराओं में FIR दर्ज कर रहे हैं और अभी तक हमने FIR दर्ज क्यों नहीं की थी. और सिर्फ राहुल गांधी आए इससे हम FIR दर्ज नहीं कर रहे हैं, हमारे FIR दर्ज करने का ये कारण है. तो मुझे लगता है कि इससे पुलिस का अपहरण मिलता कि पुलिस ने अपने कारणों से FIR दर्ज किए. अब सीधे सीधे आपने राहुल गांधी ने 6 घंटे वहां धरना दिया, आप FIR दर्ज करते हो, आपकी तरफ से कोई बयान नहीं आता. पहले रविशंकर प्रसाद जी का बयान आता है, फिर जगत प्रकाश नड्डा जी का आता है, तब तक ये लगता है कि FIR दर्ज नहीं होगी. तो मुझे लग रहा है कि राहुल गांधी को कहीं ना कहीं ऐसा क्रेडिट मिलेगा.
There needs to be more clarity, and already the Congress is saying this is because of Jan Nayak. Let's quickly listen into that entire conversation that happened, that I am willing to sit for as long as it requires.
20 दिन, 30 दिन, 50 दिन, 6 महीना वहीं बैठूंगा. It's legal. He's requesting an FIR.
Sir, already submitted.
No. He is requesting an individual FIR for this bullet, for the pellet injury. Okay, भैया. Very simple. You are not doing it.
Sir,
Okay.
ये किसका आइडिया था? राहुल गांधी का था, प्रियंका गांधी का था, किसका आइडिया था?
See, how can I say that? But it was Congress party's idea. And more than Rahul Gandhi's victory, it is actually government's defeat. Because Delhi police was not lodging the FIR, obviously, on the instructions of the PMO or Ministry of Home Affairs. And now they had to do it. They had to lodge the FIR. So it's a clear-cut defeat of the government.
Defeat of the government, Shehzad?
See, Sameer ji has made 2 points. Sameer ji का एक पॉइंट हमने उठा दिया बट समीर जी का दूसरा पॉइंट हमने छोड़ दिया, दोनों बच्चे उनके अच्छे हैं ना, एक ही बच्चा क्यों अच्छा है। समीर जी के पहले पॉइंट पे, समीर जी आपने अभी जो ये पॉइंट बोला है कि राहुल जी का आपको लग रहा है विक्ट्री हुआ है, ऐसा ना हो कि आपका वीडियो कोट करते हुए अरविंद केजरीवाल ट्वीट कर दे, सी दिस गवर्नमेंट हैज फिक्स्ड मैच विद राहुल जी। लास्ट टाइम वो पीएमओ पहुंचे थे, पीएम के रेसिडेंस पे, तो इन्हीं के जो बाकी साथी है वो बोलते हैं कि राहुल गांधी को फुटेज मिल गया, मैं लगा हुआ था जी, मैं लगा हुआ था। तो मेरा केवल इतना कहना है कि ये शो के ब्रॉडकास्ट तक और उसके बाद अरविंद केजरीवाल एंड अदर्स शुड नॉट, आपके तो दीप के फ्रेंड भी है, वो भी वीडियो बना देंगे इंस्टाग्राम पे। दूसरी बात, इनका दूसरा पॉइंट तो ये खा ही गए दोनों लोग। इन्होंने बोला वंदे मातरम से डाइवर्ट करने के लिए स्ट्रैटेजी रची गई थी। तो एक बार कम से कम, चलो पंकज जी ने ये हार किसकी हुई, जीत उसकी हुई, तो ये सब एनालाइज किया। पंकज जी 30-40 वर्ष से खुद पत्रकार है, पंकज का मतलब है कमल। तो मुझे बताइए कि पंकज जी, कमल आपके मन में है, इंडिक मानसिकता भी आपके नाम में झलकती है, तो बताइए ना वंदे मातरम से डाइवर्ट करने के लिए ना, क्योंकि जिस प्रकार से सी वी सॉ द वीडियो, वो आपने देखा 15 अगस्त को सब खड़े थे, सेवा दल खड़ा था, सेवा दल में भी रहे पंकज जी, तो उनका स्टॉप 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 हुआ और स्टॉप 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 को चेयर 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 बोलने लगे। और फिर अगर कुछ डाउट बाकी था तो सीडब्ल्यूसी की मीटिंग में बता दिया कि 1937 रेजोल्यूशन विल बी फॉलोड, नॉट द पार्लियामेंट्री रेजोल्यूशन दैट द फुल वंदे मातरम शुड बी संग। तो आफ्टर दैट व्हाट इज लेफ्ट टू इमेजिनेशन?
In fact, very interesting thing, since we're talking about Vande Mataram now. 15th of August, there was that little bit of altercation that happened at Congress headquarters.
Little bit of altercation.
Okay, that altercation happened at Congress headquarters. Kerala, they did not sing it at all. But there were other Congress ruled states who did sing it in its entirety. So, which makes one ask,
Kerala?
what was... No, in Kerala it wasn't sung.
No, can you explain why in Kerala it wasn't, Padmaja ji, if we can also pick your...
No, so now
political
IUML
analysis.
has come out in the open and opposed it.
IUML, Gen Z might not know the full, so if you can just...
Indian Union Muslim League.
Muslim
my
League.
co-anchor.
Oh.
Welcome my co-anchor now. Shehzad Poonawala has also taken half of my job now. So IUML has come out very openly and has expressed their unease with Vande Mataram, the entirety of Vande Mataram. But in Himachal it was sung in entirety. In Telangana it was sung in its entirety. Karnataka, even in Jharkhand where they are in alliance. So makes one answer, is the Congress shooting itself in the foot? You open yourself up to this criticism,
It
right?
should be sung in entirety in states' formal functions. But, you know, otherwise, privately, you can sing 2 stanzas. The Act says that it should be sung in its entirety, all 6 stanzas, in formal state functions.
Congress's function is not formal function.
No,
Congress
state
is-
function.
State function.
No, one second.
Government's
Congress
function.
party.
But the in Kerala,
It was not.
they did away with it altogether. Why?
Fine, if they want to do it, they can do it.
No, they
But
can. My question is,
national song
politically, how do you think it reflects on them? Look, because they have given the BJP now an opportunity to say that you are opposing it because it talks about Saraswati, it talks about Durga, it talks about Lakshmi, and it hits at a more emotional chord somewhere politically.
See, there is no opposition to 6 stanzas. But you know, these first 2 stanzas are there for 90 years. Everyone was singing them.
लेकिन
These 2 stanzas, Atal Bihari Vajpayee used to sing all the time. So now, why there is an objection in singing these 2 stanzas only?
You don't think politically it's going to affect the Congress?
No, not at all.
मुझे
Because Ravindranath Tagore himself decided that these 2 stanzas should be sung.
Okay.
And then Mahatma Gandhi endorsed it, Subhash Chandra Bose endorsed it, everyone endorsed it, Dr. Rajendra Prasad endorsed it,
Okay,
Maulana
Samiji
Abdul
wants to
Kalam
come.
Azad endorsed it.
भैया मुझे लगता है कि भारत 90 ईयर से बहुत आगे आ चुका है। 1937 में जो आपने किया था 2026 में आप वो नहीं कर सकते। अब जब केंद्र सरकार ने उसका कानून बना दिया है तो मुझे लगता है कि 3 मिनट 10 सेकंड का अगर राष्ट्रगीत है तो उसमें गाने में इतनी आपत्ति क्यों है? क्यों 2 स्टेंजा के लिए आप पड़े हो? आप 4 और बोले कि हम गाएंगे। ये जरूरी है कि जब यहाँ गवर्नमेंट का फंक्शन होगा तभी हम इसको ऑनर करेंगे, और प्राइवेट होगा हमारा पार्टी कार्यालय में होगा या कहीं और होगा तो हम उसका अपमान करेंगे, उसको नहीं गाएंगे। मिलता है ये ठीक नहीं है ना। 3 मिनट 10 सेकंड का राष्ट्रगीत आप गा लेंगे कांग्रेस, तो इसमें क्या हो जाएगा? राष्ट्र के प्रति राष्ट्र का जो सम्मान है उसको बनाए रखने में क्या दिक्कत है? क्या जरूरी है कि कानून बनेगा तभी इसका सम्मान करोगे? और 1937 में अगर जिन्ना ने इसका विरोध किया, मुस्लिम लीग ने विरोध किया मुसलमानों के लिए, 2026 26वें भी आप मुसलमानों के लिए इसका विरोध कर रहे हो। मतलब जो मुस्लिम लीग भारत के टुकड़े करने के लिए तैयार थी, वही स्थिति आप लेकर आ रहे हो। आपको तो अपने ऐतिहासिक गलतियों से सीखना चाहिए और आगे बढ़ना चाहिए ना।
And you know, somebody who's really hit the nail on the head and pretty much said it without any varnish on it is Kangana Ranaut. So when Sharmila Tagore, she came out and she said, look, I mean, let's just keep it the way it is.
वंदे मातरम के जो स्टैंजा है वो वंदना करते हैं मेनी गॉड्स। आप पढ़ेंगे उसको तो आपको पता चलेगा, उसमें ऑल द गॉड्स आर मेंशन्ड बाय नेम। तो वो जो एक रिलीजन में विश्वास करते हैं उनके लिए मुश्किल है कहना कि वंदे काली, वंदे दुर्गा, वंदे, मुश्किल है। तो इसीलिए अगर इंडिया में जितने रिलीजन के लोग हैं उसको अगर हम इकट्ठा साथ लेके चले तो पहला 2 stanza is very good.
Look, and Sharmila Tagore said it. She said that I think some people of a religion have discomfort in saying Vande Kali, Vande Durga. So then this is not about rule or precedence.
Just 1 second, because I'm the only Muslim on this panel, by the way. Sharmila Tagore's information and knowledge about Vande Mataram and about Islam is very suspect. So let me put that on record. First of all, may I ask people here, how many of you all actually know the full 6 stanzas? All the 6? You don't?
Without reading, no, I can't. Okay. Right now I don't. I have only 2.
I know the full 6 stanzas. Vande Mataram, let's start by that. Muslims have a problem, some Muslims have a problem with even the first 2 stanzas because they say, mistakenly, Vande Mataram means bow to the motherland. That is what commonly said. Let me inform you, Vande Mataram is written in Sanskritized Bengali. So there are some words like Abala, Kenoma, Itobale. This is Bengali and then the Mataram is Sanskrit.
You know the entire
Yes, I know.
Sing the 3rd stanza.
Okay. Koti koti kalkal nina koti koti kantha kalkal ninad karale koti koti bhujardut kharkar wale. I'm a little nervous. Abala kenoma etobale bahubal darinim namami tarinim ripudal varinim mataram vande mataram. Tumi vidya, tumi, sorry, I'm a little nervous. Tumi vidya, tumi dharma, tumi riddhi, tumi marma. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. You can say it in a, I can sing it, but
Yeah. So
tumi
look, I mean,
vidya,
in
tumi dharma,
principle-
tumi riddhi, tumi marma. Tvam hi prana sharire, bahute tumi ma shakti, hridayi tumi ma bhakti. Tumari pratima gade mandire mandire. Now this line, the meaning is, and I hope you all will take this thing because you can sing it, but to say it is a little difficult. The stanza, the 3rd stanza has nothing wrong. The 4th stanza, this line, Tumari pratima gade mandire mandire, does not mean the idol of Ma Bharti in mandir. Mandir is a term used for any sanctified space. For instance, Shishu Mandir does not mean it's a mandir where children are being sent. It's a school, but it is a sanctified space. And pratima means that the flag or the national symbol is always kept in any place which is sanctified. Then there is the 5th verse or the 5th stanza, which says, Tvam hi Durga Dashapraharan Dharini Kamala Kamaladal Viharini. Now Kamal, by the way, is there in the name of Pankaj also. Pankaj's name also means Kamal. Okay, then this kind of Vani Vidya Daini. These lines are basically, they are describing mother philosophically that she has strength like Durgam. Durgam means it, you can read it as Durga, but it is also Durgam. That means that she is unassailable. She's got the power in her hands that she is unassailable. Then Kamala Kamaldal Viharini refers to the feminine side of Mother India, the feminine power. And then there is Vani Vidya Daini, that you are the giver of knowledge, you are the giver of Vani, you are the giver of Vidya. So this is the description of Ma Bharati that has been done. Just like the first 2 stanzas are dedicated to the geographical description, Sujalam, Sufalam, Malaya Jashitalam. This is all about how the Mother Ma Bharati's geography is. Then there is philosophical description, there is description of her power and her strength. So there is nothing that is against Islam.
Okay, but Sharmila Tagore happens to think that way, and maybe some
I
people
forgot
do
my
as
main
well.
point. The main point is that the word for just last point, Vande Mataram means praise to the motherland. In Sanskrit, the word to bow down is namami. It is not Namami Mataram, it is Vande Mataram, which means that I praise my motherland. Can Muslims say that they don't want to praise their motherland?
See, no,
Anish.
I think this is an irrelevant debate because I think you should now start issuing fatwas and then convince others, because honestly, if somebody believes that this is a stanza or a verse they do not want to sing in a private setting, they have the ability to do so. It is your choice to sing it, it is somebody else's choice not to sing it. I think it's absurd that over the course of the last week we have spent hundreds of hours debating this Vande Mataram controversy. 2 days ago in Zunnar, reports emerged of a 9-year-old girl being raped and murdered. We don't talk about that.
Okay,
India
so-
has, no, 1 second.
No,
India has just replaced Indonesia
I could
as
equally
the
argue.
least attractive stock market in Asia. We don't talk about that.
Anish, hold on a
My
second. I
honest-
could equally
honest
argue.
concern as
Let
a
me give you a
young person-
converse argument. While I think that all of those issues you mentioned are very, very important
But they're
for the
not on
country.
prime time.
They are
not
very,
on
very
prime.
important. What has happened in Telangana, what happens in Karnataka, all of that gets debated in different times during our prime time. But let me also equally argue conversely that there is so much happening in our country. Then why did the Congress decide to pass a resolution against these 6 stanzas of Vande Mataram?
There was
If
no
there is
new
so
resolution
much-
passed,
if there
and of
is-
course he can speak
in
to
the
this.
CWC there was a
No,
resolution
the
passed.
CWC reaffirmed the original resolution. It did
Yes,
not
sir.
pass any
Okay, it has
resolution.
reaffirmed. When
I'll
there
tell
is
you
so
one
much
very
happening in
simple
the
thing.
country,
No.
what was the pressing need to reaffirm a resolution that was done on the insistence of the Muslim League before
No,
her
it was not
independence?
done on the
It was not
insistence of
done,
Muslim
no.
League.
It was done.
No.
It was a
It was
resolution
Muhammad
passed.
Ali
no,
Jinnah who first conveyed the discomfort of
Nehru wrote that.
Muslim League to Nehru ji, and that is when eventually this
Because
decision was taken. Yes, in consultation with everyone.
There was some reservation among a particular community, and then.
So, sir,
then-
what is the
then-
need to reaffirm it now? That was a
That-
different time. This is
Because-
also converse argument, right? कि अब we are a sovereign country. Now everyone is equal. Everyone obviously respects their motherland. What is the hesitation?
So, what was the need for unnecessarily passing an act in the
I'll tell you
parliament
I'll tell you.
that all 6 stanzas have to be?
At the same time that
I'll tell
Vande
you.
Mataram was being debated for 10 hours in Parliament, Delhi had an AQR of 1000. So let's remember the priorities of the government when Vande Mataram was a priority.
One second. Let's settle this. I say let's not sing Vande Mataram. Will the AQI come down? I mean, how bizarre for him to draw this analogy.
Why did he not give 1 hour for air pollution?
Anish, this is not a debate where we need to interrupt each other. Please. In 1937 and 1947, 1950, by the way, when we adopted the national song, there were bigger priorities in front of this country. So why did the constitution founders waste their time adopting a national song? That can also be argued, na? Then lastly, I am saying that you have all the time in the world to say our version हो गया. रहमतुल्लाह सायानी ने जब पहला गाया तो फुल गाया था कि आधा गाया था? और सर पंकज जी आप इतने वरिष्ठ पत्रकार हैं
Who decided that only these first 2 stanzas should be
I am
sung?
coming to that. 5
The
seconds.
Congress decided.
No,
The Congress
one
decided.
second.
So did Rabindranath
One second.
Rabindranath Tagore
Now
decided
you all are-
this.
We agree.
Let me
But
complete.
again, like I said, just give me 10 seconds. This was decided pre-independence under different circumstances after discomfort from the Muslim League. Now we are an independent country. There is no Muslim League.
No. There's something more
Who's
important.
objecting?
Shama
One second, let me
Prasad
complete.
Mukherjee,
Let it-
founder of Bharatiya Janata,
I don't want
was
to interrupt. This
himself
was my-
a minister in
Again, we are
Muslim League
going off the
government.
track.
Okay.
Let me just complete
Okay,
a fact.
10 seconds
Let
only,
me
then I want to move
Let me
on.
complete a fact. The fact of the matter is that there is a letter of Mr. Nehru saying that yes, the Muslims will be irritated. And therefore, we are going to restrict this to do. He did not even want it as a national song. Point number 1. Point number 2. Today, Parliament has formally given a resolution and an act in 150 years of Vande Mataram. Will a parliamentary resolution dominate or their parivarik resolution?
Okay, look, ultimately, I think let the people decide what they make of these impulses. I want to go to another big story, which is that of what happened in Jaipur, and I want to bring you in on this, Anish. What happened with Ashutosh Ranka? Basically, a team of the CJP had gone there to inspect a village school, and they were beaten up. Now, there are visuals which show that there are a group of people who are chasing them, they're pushing them out of that village, they're pushing them away from the school, and a couple of vehicles have also been damaged. First, let's listen in to some of the reactions that we got from there, from Ashutosh Ranka and from some of the locals.
तो स्कूल भैंसों के तबेले में चल रहा है। मेरे खुद का रेखा जी भी उस वीडियो में है। पिछले साल भी हम निरीक्षण करने गए थे, भैंसों के तबेले में ये स्कूल चल रहा है। वहां पे हम लोग निरीक्षण करने पहले पहुंचे, उसके पहले ही वहां पर उनके लोग, भाजपा के गुंडे वहां पर मौजूद थे। हमारे वॉलंटियर्स के साथ पहले मारपीट की गई, मीडिया के सभी साथी वहां पर मौजूद थे, पुलिस को इत्तला की गई। उसके बाद वहां पर हम गए हैं।
हमारे स्कूल के लिए 12 लाख पास हो चुके हैं। ऐसी पार्टी या कोई ऐसा हम स्कूल के मुद्दे को नहीं बढ़ाना चाहते, राजनीतिक मुद्दा नहीं बढ़ाना चाहते। हमारे स्कूल के लिए पैसा पास हो चुका है। हम ग्रामीण सक्षम में हम बना लेंगे स्कूल। हमने पहले मंदिर बनाया था, जो शिक्षा का मंदिर है वो भी बना लेंगे। हम किसी पार्टी से, जनता उससे, कांग्रेस पार्टी से हमारा कोई समर्थक नहीं चाहिए।
विरोध हम दूसरी पार्टी को, कांग्रेस और बीजेपी के खिलाफ किसी को नहीं दस नहीं देंगे। यहाँ पर हम पूरा ही गाँव हमारा कांग्रेस और बीजेपी है ठेठ से, बस यही बात है। और उन्होंने तो आके लोगों, हमारे लोग तो अभी बाहर नहीं निकली है, सब अंदर बढ़ रही है डर की मारी।
So the villagers are saying that they thought these CJP people were going to break their schools, so they beat them up.
So let me tell you three things here. First, I think it's incredibly sad that state governments in this country are more afraid of citizens auditing schools than the fact that there is no running water in those schools, that girls can't use a bathroom in those schools, that children are being forced to clean those schools. USID plus data says 97% of schools have running water. Clearly, that self-reported data is not accurate. Audits have been stopped by this government. So citizens have been pushed to act where the government has failed to provide data. Now the second problem over here is, if the government believes that there is a challenge and we do not want people entering schools, there's a legitimate fear here. Agreed. Introduce alternative mechanisms. You were so quick to introduce a circular saying nobody should go to the schools. Did you announce an audit? Did you announce that work will be done on those schools? How low can you stoop that when people point out a problem, you shut down their voice? That is the problem with the government currently. And the final question is, when there is a citizen audit taking place, law and order is the responsibility of the government. How is it that two groups, both sides might be wrong? I will concede that as well, even though Ashutosh might be my friend. Both sides might be wrong. What are the police doing? Are they watching and being mute spectators? How can stones be hurled? Is this not a law and order failure? Agitational politics is never the solution. Agitational politics must be the last resort. But unfortunately, we are being forced to get to the last resort time and again. Rahul Gandhi has to go sit. The leader of the opposition should have to go sit at a police station for an FIR to be filed. The basic right of a citizen. Imagine if that is the case in Delhi. What is the case in Bihar?
समीर जी, अब क्या होगा? क्योंकि अब तो आशुतोष रांका और अभिजीत दिपके ने आज वीडियो डाला है। उन्होंने तो कहा है कि 48 घंटे में अगर सबको अरेस्ट नहीं किया और स्कूल नहीं अच्छे से बना तो वो खुद पहुंच जाएंगे राजस्थान।
देखिए, मुझे लगता है अगर अभिजीत दिपके, आशुतोष रांका या सौरभ दास को अगर लगता है कि एजुकेशन सिस्टम बहुत बेहतर हो, तो एक सिस्टम होता है ना। आप HRD मिनिस्टर को लिखते हैं, आप स्टेट के एजुकेशन मिनिस्टर को लिखते हैं कि मैं आपसे मिलना चाहता हूं, हमारे पास कुछ प्रपोजल है एजुकेशन को लेकर, आपकी गवर्नमेंट की क्या पॉलिसी है, हम कुछ में कंट्रीब्यूट करना चाहते हैं। वी विल डिस्कस इट कि कैसे हम कंट्रीब्यूट करें, हमारा कंट्रीब्यूशन क्या होगा, क्या हमारे पास टीम है, फाइनेंशियली हम क्या सपोर्ट कर सकते हैं। हम एक गाँव गोद में लेंगे, वहाँ के 2 स्कूल को बेहतर करेंगे। हम एक शहर को गोद में लेंगे, एक शहर में जितने स्कूल उसको हम बेहतर करेंगे और धीरे धीरे हम आगे बढ़ेंगे। ऐसा नहीं हो सकता ना कि आप संभाजी नगर के स्कूल में जाओ, उसके बाद आप सीधे उड़ के आप राजस्थान में चले जाओ, उसके बाद आप बंगाल के किसी स्कूल में चले जाओ कि सरकार क्या कर रही है। भाई, आप डिसाइड तो करोगे ना कि कैसे करना है, आपकी पॉलिसी क्या करना चाहते हो आप।
बट मैनी वुड आर्ग्यू दिस इज अ वेरी सरकारी अप्रोच ना। जब तक आप मतलब जो कहते हैं ना कि जब तक बच्चा रोता नहीं, जब तक माँ भी दूध नहीं पिलाती है, तो तब आपको करना ही पड़ेगा। लेकिन आप जाना सरकार के साथ ही पड़ेगा ना। चेंजेस कौन करेगा? स्कूल को बेहतर कौन करेगा? तो यार गवर्नमेंट बनाएगी, अच्छे बोर्ड्स, अच्छे चेयर्स, अच्छा भोजन, ये सरकार ही देगी ना। अभिजीत दिपके तो देंगे नहीं, कांग्रेस जनता पार्टी तो देगी नहीं, सरकार ही करेगी ना। तो सरकार से डायलॉग तो स्टार्ट करोगे आप। सरकार अगर आपसे बात नहीं करती तो आप उस स्टेज पे जाइए, आप एजुकेशन सेक्रेटरी से मिलिए, स्टेट में जो एजुकेशन सेक्रेटरी आप उससे मिलिए, आप टीचर्स एसोसिएशन से मिलिए कि हम आपके स्कूल बेहतर करना चाहते हैं, आप उनको लेटर लिखिए। आपका अप्रोच कैसा होना चाहिए? आप 10 लड़के लेकर चले जाते हो किसी स्कूल में,
आप धमकाते हो। Responsibility of the government, they should have done it. Why one should go to meet education secretary or education minister?
नहीं तो आप बताओगे ना कि प्रपोजल आपके पास है, आप क्या करना चाहते हो?
You know the condition of government schools all over the country, not in Rajasthan, is pathetic. Everyone knows it. What is the what kind of food?
But that's why then they are
children
asking, no,
getting?
Ashutosh Ranka, why aren't you going to Punjab?
And they
Punjab
should-
mein there are plenty of people.
He should go to Punjab.
But he hasn't
They should
gone.
go to
Na?
Jharkhand.
And Anish, he didn't go to Jharkhand.
I
na?
have one simple question.
In person.
No, I have one simple
He's already
question.
weighed in.
Let me ask you one question. Okay, one simple question. Let him ask one question.
No, because he's now. Let me weigh in and then he
But
can.
let him ask a question.
I agree with you completely. But what do you do when somebody else is not doing their job? You do it. Please, I encourage BJP workers to go to Jharkhand and go to those schools.
Arey, but
I
they are a
encourage
pressure
opposition
group. Why
workers
aren't
to
they
go to
pressuring
those-
Jharkhand?
I think
You have
anybody
been
should.
agreeing with me since Jharkhand also, Anish.
But I
But
agree.
वो आकर के चला गया. By the way,
जाने दो.
the High Court has cancelled all the decisions that were taken by Jharkhand government. So you still have time. Abhijit Dipke hopefully now has recovered from his typhoid/cholera/whatever it was that he was suffering from. He should now go to Jharkhand because those kids are going to sit on protest again. Everything they fasted for 26 days, it's all gone down the drain.
But the same question should be asked of JP Nadda ji. He should go to Jharkhand. The Prime Minister should go to Jharkhand. The
Okay.
Home Minister should go to Jharkhand. This kind of tutu meme politics
Can
is
I-
not very relevant.
Nobody went
when
to
the question
Manipur. Yeah, why will they
Can
go
I
to
weigh in?
Prime
Jharkhand?
Minister should go to Manipur
Okay,
first.
tutu meme
Jharkhand
is
is not
only.
I don't believe
Manipur,
this is
Manipur
constructive.
that
I don't believe in tutu meme either. I'm just saying, through a political
but I'm
lens,
saying-
do people not see a mismatch in what they are saying and what they are
The
practicing?
first thing I
Can
told
I
you
now
is
wait?
last
Now he's got a
resort.
third.
Okay.
Let me at least come in a little bit. First of all, I am very happy for citizens' audits to be done. I think it is in a democracy incumbent. Schools actually do have a system where parents and teachers form an association where parents have an institutional approach towards seeing the state of the school and running the affairs of the school. So I don't think, Anish, because when you graduate from foreign degrees, etc., you perhaps don't know how Indian systems work. And Abhijit has also studied abroad only. Well, Rahul also
Government
studied
schools.
abroad. So Rahul has also studied abroad. Abhijit has been able to manage an education abroad, which I have not been able to. That's good. But they don't know about the parent-teacher association system. It is meant for this. So still parents ko bulate. Anyway, and parents are the biggest stakeholders. I mean, concerned to Abhijit Dipke or me who has no children, I'm sure the parents of those school children are more concerned कि school में पंखा है, light है, dustboard है, सब चीज है. Secondly, I did not know Anish is sitting as spokesperson not of NCP शरद पवार के तो नहीं है, CJP के भी नहीं है.
That I have to correct you firstly. On national television, don't make such
Now
claims because you might have had to leave
Mr.
your job
Gawande,
because
Mr.
of
Gawande,
many reasons. I thankfully
This
still
is
have
not
my
the way.
job.
This is not
Okay,
the-
okay,
So,
finish, yes.
He is the spokesperson of SCJP. You know what is SCJP? You don't know? No. Selective Cockroach जनता पार्टी. मतलब आपको पता है क्या है? मैं स्कूल में गया, यहाँ पे एकदम ऐसे जयपुर राजस्थान में मैंने एंट्री की, वहाँ के सारे स्कूल मुझे दिखे, ऑडिट करने में चला गया, अच्छी बात है. फिर एक बगल का स्टेट है पंजाब, वहाँ पे तो जाना ही नहीं है. फिर क्या होता है कि मैं थोड़ा सा इधर उधर जा रहा हूँ, अच्छा मैं चला गया वहाँ पे आंध्र प्रदेश चला गया, एनडीए स्टेट है, बट तेलंगाना नहीं जाना है. तो आई एम जस्ट वंडरिंग दैट व्हेन दी राजनीतिक गोत्र तेलंगाना का बदलेगा, जब राजनीतिक गोत्र बदलेगा तब ये जाएंगे वहां पे सिटीजन ऑडिट तब शुरू होगा, अच्छी बात है. थर्डली मेरा सिर्फ इनसे इतना एक सवाल है कि ये 250 स्टूडेंट्स 250 गूंज को लेकर जाते हैं और वहां की महिला जो बोलती है कि डोंट अटैक माई स्कूल, आई फेल्ट स्कैर्ड दैट दिस 250 goons have come, so she is not citizen, the 250 goons are citizens. Okay. And finally, आपने वो वीडियो देखा है अभिजीत दिपके का? अभिजीत दिपके महाराष्ट्र के एक स्कूल में गए, लातूर में शायद, वहां पे कैमरा रेडी, लाइट्स, कैमरा, एक्शन, बच्चे खाना खा रहे हैं, मैंने इन बच्चों को खाना दे दिया है, मैं इनका सुधार कर रहा हूँ. वहां से आवाज आई एक गांव वाले की, ये बच्चे स्कूल के नहीं हैं. अभिजीत दिपके वो मुँह वो चलता है ना बैकग्राउंड में, मुँह हो गया उनका.
चलो शहजाद
तो मतलब कि इतना बड़ा फ्रॉड.
Okay.
But again, now the problem is
Shehzad
we are
has
not
already given us
concerned.
a
We are not concerned about the state of affairs in the school. We are not concerned about the fact that parent-teachers associations do not have the power to question these authorities in the school. We do not have a problem with the fact that unspeakable amounts of corruption is the reason for the existence of these schools in such condition. Otherwise, your data would not say 97%.
You know when
no one is concerned
your
about
channel
that. Somebody
interviewed
is killing
Smriti
it.
Irani. Your channel interviewed Smriti Irani. I saw that interview. Smriti Irani was the education minister in 14-15 when the new NEP was being formed, which is basically about this. How many recommendations Rahul Gandhi gave?
Okay, I'm completely out of time. Look, all of these questions, you are perfectly well within your rights to ask questions of what is happening, whether the system is up to, up to the mark. But is the method the right one? I will leave it to the judgment of our viewers. Of course, we hope to make this a regular feature where we just bash through the big stories to really figure out what their political implication and fallout could be, or what the political benefit could be. For the time being though, all gentlemen for joining us. Thank you very much and thank you for watching.